Now, we begin with a big political stunner. Tulsi Gabbard, who ran as a Democratic presidential candidate during the last election cycle, now says she is leaving the Democratic Party altogether in a fiery takedown ahead of the midterms. And she's urging independent-minded Democrats to do the same. The former Hawaii Congresswoman announced her departure in a series of tweets and a video posted this morning.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite. Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party. If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me.
That's pretty powerful. And what stuck out to me, which I think encapsulates so much of what she said, was what we heard a moment ago. I believe in a government that is of, by, and for the people, but unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not.
Well, you know, when I heard that, I thought of Ronald Reagan, Elon Musk, from time gone by and now. The party didn't leave them, or rather, they didn't leave the party left them. It changed, it warped, it became something they no longer recognized. And in the case of Tulsi Gabbard, I have to tell you, it breaks my heart that we don't have a fully functional Democratic Party today. You know, my state of Louisiana, that may be the last holdout in the Democratic Party where you can still have a pro-life, pro-gun governor who happens to have a D after his name. That's a fully functioning party that welcomes other viewpoints, allows normalcy and the middle to come home. This party, the National Party, no longer welcomes that. And the fact that they couldn't make room for a veteran, an articulate woman of conscience who has called them. This is a woman who supported, by the way, Bernie Sanders. So she's hardly some right-winger who was embedded in the Democratic Party. When Tulsi Gabbard leaves, it's a big sign for the Democratic Party.
Is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The history of the United States has been intertwined with that of the Armenian people and the Armenian genocide. It was American missionaries and diplomats who let the world know that the Ottoman Empire was attempting to cleanse itself of the Armenian and Christian populations. The U.S. became home to many survivors. Their experience inspired Raphael Lemkin to create the term genocide, only to see his Jewish family suffer the same fate at the hands of Nazi Germany. The denial of the Armenian genocide has had contemporary consequences. I have visited both Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh. I saw a Turkey which denies genocide, has no fear of committing it again. In fact, Turkey has begun an ethnic cleansing of the Syrian Kurds in northern Syria. I've long called for our government to officially recognize the Armenian genocide. I'm an original co-sponsor of HRES 296. The House has spoken with a clear voice, breaking the silence, recognizing the Armenian genocide, and we call on the Senate and President Trump to do the same. We cannot allow history to repeat itself. I yield back.
Time's expired. For what purpose?